All right, guys, welcome back to StarCraft 2 Classics at MLG Best of the Best. Trying to find out which is the best game in MLG StarCraft 2 history. We've seen a lot of awesome games so far. And remember, if you missed anything, they're all available on youtube.com/official MLG SC2. There's a nice little playlist there. Definitely check that out. As well as this is going to be rebroadcasted. If you're watching the rebroadcast, feel free to vote. The polling is still open if you're watching the rebroadcast, so be sure to take advantage of that. That being said, let's take a look at the bracket to see where we stand and what's coming up next. We just saw QXE versus Deer and Huck versus Naniwa in the round of 32. Coming up next, we have Marine King versus Haypro from MLG Orlando and Life versus Flash, the final game of the 2013 MLG Winter Championship event. But first, let's get into MKP versus Haypro, as we see there from 2011. MLG Orlando, this is from the group stages. Of course, Haypro from Team Liquid, trying to make things happen against one of the best Terran players to ever play Wings of Liberty and Marine King Prime. Let's get into it.
He took up like the entire map. It was at,
like, he does that most games, Husky StarCraft. And hopefully he'll do it again here in this game. Do you build tanks in TVZ? No.
No.
I build Marines because my name is Marine King Prime.
And he has to live up to it.
So let's go ahead and hop into game one between Liquid Haypro and Marine King Prime. Yebo.
And were you saying, just to double check, is Haypro currently ranked second in this group? Is that?
He is. Haypro is 3-1.
Oh, yeah! Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Marine King.
My God. Marine King Prime. Oh, Marine King Prime.
Sean, just keep saying that for the next 8 minutes, because that's the only commentary we're going to need here.
I cannot believe what he is Marine King trying right now.
Oh, I can't. I've never... Since the day this came out, I have never, ever seen a Terran player do this versus Zerg.
He might be playing Fun Day Monday.
I predict a future day-night daily indeed, Sean. And that is right. That is absolutely right. There he goes. It does look now like we should introduce the players, Sean.
Yeah.
We got a little excited. So over on the center left side, please make some noise for Liquid Haypro. I don't think I've ever been excited within the first 5 seconds of a game.
And in the center of the map, the Terran coming all the way from Korea, coming all the way from down here. It is Marine King Prime.
Now, Sean, I don't know how many times you've seen this build, but we do have a refinery going down, a normal transition after lifting to the high yield expansion. Any predictions on what this could possibly be?
Well, I mean, I guess he's going to go for a factory on like 11 after building a barracks whenever he wants. It's just insane how fast your income rate grows when you're in mid. There's the barracks going down right now. I think it's very wise to actually do a Hellion transition because it's near impossible to cover this much space when you are... Screw what I'm saying. Watch this, you guys.
Just control F that one and follow it. As here he goes, he's going to go up here.
All right, let's actually go to the Haypro cam and see what he's seeing. There's
no base here.
Is it to the? Let's build a pool.
Build my spawn pool.
Maybe
I wonder if he's like scratching his chin right now. I guess technically not. As he's just like, here it comes.
There it is.
Spot it.
And there it is.
Busted. So he has been spotted here. Going to try and pick off the SCV, making the barracks. But this is going to be such a peculiar position. I'm wondering if Marine King. He's probably going to make Marines, Sean, but I'm just curious exactly how he follows this up.
You know, if this were the North American ladder, Marine King would just bunker rush all in after taking that fast gold, but looks like he is indeed going for the transition into the factory. This is some very critical supply depot placement.
Yes.
He needs to be very careful with his movement. I actually almost would have preferred supply depots started to build up along one of these edges. There's the reactor going down. He does have mules on the gold, which returns, I think, at least 250 per return.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be getting 500 minerals per trip here with that. Of course not, but his income, I'm just curious. Looking at the income, the Terran player is now passing his Zerg opponent off of one base. And who says you need to stay equal in bases, Sean, when you can just take the gold?
It's not about how many bases. It's about what bases. Location, 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 Husky.
You should make basically a quotes book for life lessons, Sean. You should publish that.
I should work for Hallmark. You see Liquid Haypro now by the Zelnaga Watchtower, spotting. Wow, my God, he really does have that gold expansion. Tech Lab popping down. I think this is a smart choice by Haypro to actually begin making roaches, unless Marine King Prime begins getting a lot of Marauders quickly. He could be in a ton of trouble.
Now we do see that the first Hellion has popped, and the second one as well. 2 more are queued up here. And I'm wondering, does this look earlier than when a normal double Hellion would be? Or is it still about the same? I'm
little
baffled
bit
by this play.
behind, but he still is going to be able to put on a decent amount of pressure. Once he sees these roaches, yep, indeed, we see some Marauders up in the production tab. And this is a tough spot as Haypro. Do you play it out normally and just try to prevent Marine King from having an easy-to-hold second base? Or do you try to put pressure on and really halt this odd play from getting started in the first place?
You know, right now I feel like Haypro is going to have to do the holding on. Now he is moving out with these roaches. Don't know if he expected this Marauder to be on the field already, but it does look like the Hellion's going to be doing a lot of damage here to the roaches, which is not something I get to say very often, as it does look like one roach goes down. He did focus down one Hellion, but that Marauder is looking mighty terrifying.
Oh, and it looks like Haypro might lose a second roach. Does have that Marauder up on the high ground, desperately trying to pick off that one single Marauder.
Was able to prevent the push for a little bit, but with that one roach on the high ground, it did a little bit of damage. But we have the rally point set. Units are streaming over here. Is Marine King actually going to try and end this game right now? He might be able to. I mean, look at this. He's producing off of a factory and 3 barracks at this point, and even has siege tanks on the way.
Looks like these roaches up on the high ground from Liquid Haypro are in a decent position. No layer at all from Haypro. Actually, a lot of Zerglings in production. Only 8 out on the field right now. Trying to go for a little bit of a pick on those roaches, only managing to catch one on fire.
Which is not a good situation. As in StarCraft, if you are set on fire, that means you are already dead, as there is no in-between in StarCraft. But the army starting to grow here. I'm just curious on the army supply. It's actually identical for both players. So is the worker supply. So we will see if Haypro has the right units, though. As you got to remember, this unit composition for Marine King is looking pretty scary. Is he going to commit here? I'm so curious to see how he plays this one out.
This is going to be super deadly. A brilliant move by Liquid Haypro going forward. The counterattack, Great Judgment, has to lift these supply depots up to help wall himself in, but no, he does not get there in time.
He does not. The Zerglings are loose in the mineral line. There's no units here to take the aggros. The SCVs are forced to fend for themselves. This is going to be a huge loss. Unit tab shows only 16 SCVs, and now he is down to a measly 13. But look at this, the medevac is now on the field, and he is leapfrogging into the main base. But Haypro has a lot of roaches here, Sean.
Oh no, this is going to be an extremely close final battle. Marine King is trying to load up as quickly as he can. But Liquid Haypro is continuing to mass up. Zerglings galore. There are really not that many anti-Zergling units. They're mostly to kill off roaches. Marine King trying to unload faster and faster, but the Zergling production from Haypro is really through the roof. It's all going to come down to this push.
Might want to bring up that spine crawler as a little bit of a miss-unload there as those units take it on low ground. Looks like Haypro decides to make his move. He does have a lot of his Zerglings here, but it looks like backing against the wall for Marine King is working fairly decently. There is still quite a few Marauders. Haypro may have to back out here, but he's continuing to press this attack. Unfortunately, he's attacking the one Marauder that is getting healed, which bought Marine King just a little bit of time.
And it looks like Zerglings being rallied and trying to pick it off, but absolutely not. Haypro will not be able to deflect this push, and after taking the center gold expansion at the start of the game, Haypro, lost and confused, looks like he was unable to hold off this push. Marine King still trying to rally in more units. No upgrades, no stim, no combat, no siege, no nada. Just a lot of those basic units.
Yeah, and that's a very important fact that you're saying there, Sean, is that if Haypro had this spine crawler up here, it would have done a lot of damage just because there are indeed not a single tech upgrade for these units. Haypro looks like he's narrowly not going to be able to hold this. The spine crawler desperately trying to burrow, but only a couple units do remain. The spine crawler is now in position, but picks up the tank to save it there with some amazing micro to keep these units alive.
And now we see Zerglings rallying up the front. Haypro's doing anything he can. Queen in the fray. More Zerglings trying to stream in, trying to pick this off desperately. Drones being quite effective, but with great load unload micro. Look at that. Marine King Prime able to easily crush these forces. Zerglings continue to be made, and there is the good game.
And there is the GG Marine King Prime going for the cheekiness, lifting his command center and going straight to the gold. He's a little bit too cool for those regular minerals and making it work, more importantly. I couldn't imagine, like, if I'm scouting around the map and there's, like, he's not in the corner, he's not in his original base, like, what is going through Haypro's mind? Amazing game there. From 2011 MLG Orlando. MKP would go on to 2-0 Haypro and finish 5th place in the tournament. Unfortunately, Haypro in the losers bracket of the championship bracket, he fell to Polt 0-2 and was knocked out. I think he finished around top 20, but that's one of your possibilities for best game in MLG Starcraft 2 history. It's going up against Life versus Flash from the 2013 MLG Winter Championship, and we'll get right into that after a quick break.